Hello, this is Michael from Divorce Rehab, and I decided to do a quick little video on Fen-izum and a little bit of my most recent experience with it. And recently I went up to Swannanoa, North Carolina, to do some relief work and some tree removal and log removal from somebody's yard. And now I had heard a video some time ago um, about the best way to find a good quality woman in the United States is in the church, or I've even heard another good place is to do volunteer work. Now, I didn't go up there to do volunteer work with the intention of finding a woman. I did go up there genuinely to help people. But while I was up there, I remembered um, hearing a video that gave such advice. And I thought, well, I'm up here, I'm kind of curious. You never know. I might get lucky and and find, a decent person. And I'm sure there was plenty of decent people up there. I met a lot of them. Um, but what I found, even though my hope and trust in humanity and in the American way was dramatically improved, what I saw up there was that there was a very small group of people in the area that were helping with the volunteer work. And I'd say about half of the people that were there that were volunteers were locals. The other half were people from as far as Atlanta, Georgia, to even Arizona. I think was the furthest person away that I was introduced to. But they were all just red blooded, good old Americans. But, however, what I have learned is that people that are involved in Fen-izum, they don't have to be woke and they don't have to be liberal. Fen-izum has infiltrated even the conservative movement, and I hate to say it, but even a conservative voter for Trump, if you will, can be heavily involved in Fen-izum. And what I mean by that is, well, I'll give you two examples. So we had a couple of girls that were in the log removal or tree removal group that I was a part of um, that were not satisfied with just grabbing the brush and the trees that had already been cut by men that were there. They had to have their own chainsaws and they had to do their own cutting. And I don't really have a problem with that so much. However, I know that if a chainsaw kicks back on you, having that extra strength as a man to be able to control that saw if it does kick back on you is kind of important, kind of critical. But what I realized also was that these women did not have any chainsaw etiquette whatsoever and did not know the best positions to stand in or the best positions to hold the saw. So they were constantly in danger to themselves and to others around them. But what I also realized is that a lot of the men that were basically city slickers and didn't have any chainsaw experience were basically, for all intents and purposes, in the same condition that these ladies were in. It's just that they were stronger. Well, we ended up having one guy that came there, and fortunately, we had two or three chainsaws going, and he showed up a day later, and he commenced to telling me how he didn't think that women should operate a chainsaw and that was just dangerous. And I told him, I said, well, hey, equal rights, brother. We live in a different world, and if they want to chainsaw, they have every right to, because equal rights. And he said, equal rights, blankety blank. I don't agree with that where this is concerned, because, he saw it as a dangerous hazard. And not even to others so much as just to themselves. And so I kind of, I agreed with him, but, I'm not going to voice it. I'm not going to say anything about it in today's world, at least not to their faces. But I did, joke around one time, just a very surface kind of joke that could be taken either way. And I saw that spirit of, of Fen-izum rise up. And from that experience and seeing how other women were interacting with men and such, it did cause me to take pause and to really think and realize that, even if you become a volunteer worker and you're around other, women or just, people of the opposite sex, um, doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to find a good quality woman that is not influenced by Fen-izum in some way. Because I hate to say it, Fen-izum has been immersed into our culture as a whole. And a perfect example of that is I'm a part of the Mennonite community here in this area. And even though it is probably the least infiltrated uh, in Fen-izum as I can find, Fen-izum has infiltrated even the quote unquote Mennonite conservative values in many ways. And even though divorce is not real high in the Mennonite church, it does exist, and unfortunately, so does Fen-izum. And you really get an opportunity to see that just by, attend a Mennonite wedding, and it will be packed out as far as people showing up for the weddings. But you can kind of see how the interaction of married couples are with each other, and you can see who the happily married couples are and who the couples are that are just staying together to be together because that's the way they were raised, or they feel like they don't have any other choice, so they're just kind of stuck together. And that's no way to live either in marriage. And so Fen-izum has definitely set root here in this country, and it's going to be interesting to see how this next administration deals with Fen-izum and with the wokeness that has taken over in this country. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a roller coaster, brothers and sisters. But like I said again, just because you're doing volunteer work and you see, some sweetheart doing volunteer work and everything, it does not mean that there's any guarantee that person, whether it be a man or woman, is going to be marriage material. So, like I said, I hate to say it, but if you're a man who is interested in getting married and setting roots, either way, whether you stay here in this country and decide to find a woman here, it's going to cost you money. If you decide to become a passport Mo, then it's going to cost you money there because, moving, getting familiar with the culture, getting settled in, and finding out, what kind of people you have there to deal with. And just, no matter what, it's just going to be expensive either way you look at it. So the only encouragement I can give you is, read your scriptures, find your happiness in God. If you place your happiness in the things of this world and in somebody of the opposite sex, you're going to be greatly disappointed because happiness is a choice that you have to make, whether you are single or whether you are married. And that, I'm finding that for me, finding happiness in a relationship with God is probably the most stable choice that you can make. And if you grow in your relationship with God and grow in life, um, then maybe God may bless you with a significant, God fearing um, spouse as well. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this video, but I just want to give you an encouragement. Get into your word, get into your relationship with God, pursue a relationship with Him, uh, and try to live according to His commandments, according to His will. When He speaks to your heart, uh, be obedient and give Him a chance to open up doors for your life, and give Him a chance to develop your character, your personality, and find your happiness in Him. And I think that in the end, whether you end up married or not, it will all work out. All right, well, with that being said, God bless you. Until next time.